This week's blogging video is gonna be actually a question that I received in one of the comments, and I thought it was really good and has been always on my mind with BSL and the blogging business and the business in general, but especially in the last year and right now. And that is, let me pull up the exact question. The question was basically, can you do a financial video on how you reinvest into the business? And this is something I have reinvested into the business from the very beginning in multiple different facets and different levels of investing. And I think it's been crucial to the success of the business. So I want to start off with how I first invested into the business, like the first year of my blogging, and then kind of go to where we are now, because now we're really investing into the business. So the first year of starting the blog, it was about halfway through the year that I started generating income. I remember in August, I started the blog, and then in October, I had a month where I made $600. I thought I hit the lottery. That was swimming in money. I mean, I was a nanny at that time, and so I really wasn't making much money nannying. And so that was like more than I was making in like 2 weeks. So the fact that I did that blogging was incredible. And I think I let myself buy like 2 shirts, which was from like Shein. So I probably spent like $30, and the rest of it I put away into savings and bought blogging courses with it. Like that was my game plan from the beginning, is whatever money I made, I put back into the business by taking blogging courses and learning a new technique. That's actually something that I read that another blogger did who was super successful. I can't remember who it was, but I remember reading that she did that and me being like, oh, I'm gonna do that same thing. And it was game changing. I always talk about how me taking courses in the beginning of my blog were like crucial to my success and my fast growing success. And that is the first way that I reinvested into the business. And then even to this day, I do not pay myself a lot of money. Honestly, like I make very similar income to Ben, who is at his first job out of college. So I make look, I'm not hurting like at all. I'm so grateful to have a job. But for what BSL is making, I am really not making a lot of money. And right now we are reinvesting basically everything into the future of the business. And so at first, that first year of blogging, the second year of blogging, even the third year of blogging, everything that I reinvested money into was to grow the blog and like the blogging website, where now it's at the point where the blogging website is fully built up. We know how to use SEO. We know how to use Pinterest. We know what blog posts get us traffic and income. And now we're at the point that it's like, okay, what do we want this business to be, the overall business to be? I've been very clear in all these videos that I don't want to be a blogger. I don't want to be an influencer. I do not want that to be my career. I want my blog to be the marketing engine that takes me to my career, which I want my career to be a interior designer. I want to own a design firm. That's like transitioned how we've invested in the business. Because like I said, we were investing strictly to grow the website, and now we're investing a lot of our money to grow the other side of our website, or the other side of our business, because our website is grown. Not as, obviously it can go bigger and bigger and bigger, but for what we want to do for the rest of our career and the rest of my career and where I see this business going, the website has hit a point where now it's just fueling the growth of our future business. And for me personally, like after you write blog posts for a really, really long time, it's like kind of exhausting. And 100%, it's just all about like where you want your life to be and what you want your goals to be for like, I mean, I've said this before too. I could be set for the rest of my life if I just did this blogging and that's all I did. And so that might be what you want to do. For me, I don't necessarily, because I've been doing it for so long, get the most amount of joy about writing a blog post to rank on SEO. I hope that's not interpreted in the wrong way, because look, you could make a very, very great lifestyle or great living and have the lifestyle you want and you could fully enjoy it. For me, I just don't. And so now we're looking at the business, and this has been like a hot topic in the business lately, is like, are we proud of what we're doing? Is it what we want to be doing? And in 5 years and 10 years, where do we see the business going? And so now we're now we are transitioning it and spending a lot of money. Like, we're being kind of risky with our money lately. I mean, we're not stupid, so we're doing it it's a calculated risk, I would say, but we are spending a lot of money, and it's all earned from the blogging side of the business. And so, like, we bought a house last year, and we're flipping this entire house. We hired a production crew to film the entire thing. Like, we are about to completely rebrand the blog in the next year and like make it exactly what we want. And all of that was because of this initial blog that I started when I was 17 years old as a college student. So it's really insane. I think that other ways, I'm like really going off my notes. Okay. Someone commented and was like, you need to like take notes on how, so like your videos aren't all over the place. One, this is the wrong YouTube channel for you. I think like I, as a user, would enjoy listening to someone like babble on about something that I want to do. And so that's what we're doing here. But I do take notes. I just tend to go off of my notes. Like I said, okay, so this is the first year because I skipped a lot of the things that I reinvested in. So the first year I reinvested, the first and second year, any money I made, I would pay myself the tiniest little bit, but majority of the money went to taking courses, buying plugins. So like Thrive Architect, I spent money and invested in that so that it could be easier for me to write my blog posts. I got deposit photos, which I paid for, and that gave me stock images. And then 2 years into the business, I started hiring people. So that was at the point where I was making income. And like I could have easily, like I remember I was a junior in college, and I made 18 grand. Do you know how easy it would have been for me to just to go like spend that 18 grand and like, oh my gosh, I could have gone to Zara, I could have got a luxury purse, blah, blah, blah. But reinvesting in the business has always been such a forefront of my mind. I always say, this is kind of off topic, but I'm like, I'm gonna work my ass off in my 20s so that by the time I'm ready to have kids in my 30s, hopefully I have a fully established business that's kind of running on its own. That's just preference of what I want for my life and what I'm trying to do for my life. But at that point, I knew how it worked, and I started realizing that there's a lot of things that I have to do, and there's a lot of things that I don't have to do. I read the 4-Hour Work Week, and it basically was like, if you don't have to do something and you can hire someone to do it cheaper for you, then do that so that you can spend your time doing stuff that will help the growth of the business. And so that's really where we are at now and what I started about 2 years in. So the first person I started doing hired was a writer, and essentially like we really, really worked hand in hand that first year, and now it's like slightly different now, but basically like I would come to her and be like, okay, this week we're gonna write this post, and then usually I would gather all the images because I'm very particular about like what I want stuff to look like, and I'm very visual and have like a design plan. And then she would go and link products, and which takes so freaking long. Linking products takes forever. She would go write little captions if I didn't have time to. She basically was like a little bit of an assistant until we were at the point where she knew how to completely do it. And then I could fully like go do other things. And so like right now, social media, I have to do. It's fully my face. I want it to be my face. I want it to be me. So like, someone else couldn't go do that. Sarah couldn't go do that. Shelby couldn't go do it. It has to be me. But there's so many things in the business that I don't have to be doing anymore because of that, which allows us to grow in other ways. So that's like another example of reinvesting into the business. And that was like a really big game changer. Read 4-Hour Work Week if you haven't. Is it Gary Vee who wrote 4-Hour Work Week? I feel like it is. I love him. I wrote this down. This is like part of my notes, and it's what I was saying before a little bit, but I said, now we are reinvesting money, or now we are reinvesting in a completely different way. Before it was all about making money, and now it's how do we want to make money? So like, where do we see the business expanding further into the future? This has been, it's been more about like what brings you joy lately, which I also have in the back of my head is like that a naive thing for me to say because we are making money. So I can kind of like, before I was in such like a flight for life situation, is that the right term? Where like I just needed to survive. Like I was paying for everything on my own. I had to figure out a way to survive. And now that we're making money and I'm looking at things and I'm like, is this what I want to be doing for my entire life? Do I want to take the influencer route? Do I want to take the business owner route? Do I want to take the brand route? Do I want to take the blogging route? Do I want to step back in general? But basically the reinvesting that we did the first year and what I recommend you to reinvest is a lot different because we've been with the evolution of the company. And so we know how to do everything, and almost like because of the experience that we have and that I have in the blogging industry, it allows me to come up with my dream life and try to like establish that dream life, all thanks to the blog that I started when I was 17, which is amazing. So that's a little bit about that. I'd like if you like comment on the video of different ways that you're reinvesting. I really think that courses, 100%, no questions asked, best way to reinvent. Then plugins like Thrive Architect makes my life so much easier. Maybe that's just a personal thing, but it really does. I'll have the link to Thrive Architect that we use below. And then I think there's like another one called Elementor, which I've never heard of. I started with Thrive Architect, so now I use Thrive Architect all the time. The entire team uses Thrive Architect. And then hiring people. And then once you have like that full-on business established, that's when you can kind of step back and be like, okay, what's our angle now? Like what's next? Which is what we're in the phase of doing right now. So hopefully that was interesting. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Comment videos that you want. We seriously, like this whole video was stemmed from a comment that I read. I read all of them. You guys are so nice on the blogging videos, which thank you so much, because some people on social media are just not nice. So it's always like, if I'm ever having a bad day, I just go to the blogging YouTube videos and read all the comments because they're always so nice. Check out the blogging courses. We have probably next week when you're watching this, our email course is launching, which like that has been a process. It is so micro, it is so intense, it is so detailed. It goes over everything that we do with email, and like our email system is very complicated. We've simplified it so that you can fully understand it, but it's like, it's mind-blowing. Sarah and I were writing the course. We went to Arizona to write the course, and I almost did a video on like kind of talking about our work retreat, but we worked so hard. And I remember we were like sitting outside. It was like in the sun, amazing. Right now it's snowing in Wisconsin, so you can envision how I'm thinking about that. But we looked at each other and we're like, how the hell did we figure this out? Like, how did we do this? I don't really know. It took 3 years. So basically 3 years of knowledge in one course. So that's coming out. Moral of all of that. But I will see you at the next blogging video.